Alrighty, let's try a cosine one, another cosine one. Again, just listing through what I've got. Not sure how my numbers are going to look. My A is 4, so my amplitude, amplitude, there we go, is 4. We are going to have a period of 2 pi over 3. Oh, I'm glad this one is, because it's not, you notice how it's not going to quite match up with what the number scale says, but that's okay, because that's good. We have a, how did I do that? I think I did purple last time. We have a vertical shift, right? Vertical shift, we're heading up 2, and then ultimately we will have a horizontal shift, or a phase shift. I think I did brown last time. We're going to do 3 pi over 4, because you take the value of d, you divide it by 3, which is 3 pi over 4 times 1/3, which means we are moving pi over 4, and because this is negative in here, we are moving the opposite way, so we move to the right. Okay, so at least that's something. All right, so let's draw our shifts first, and again, I'm going to try to do the same thing. Let me draw my shifts at least first, and then I'll blow up the graph. So phase shift was pi over 4 to the right. This might not work. I maybe should have blown up the graph to start. We'll see how it goes. Okay. All right. Now, we then have a vertical shift. I got to go to purple. We got a vertical shift up 2. So ultimately, we're moving our axes to the right and up. All right. Okay. Now, our amplitude is 4 and the period is 2 pi over 3. Okay, I just needed to remind myself before I blow this up. Okay. The amplitude is 4 and the period is 2 pi over 3. All right, so when we do this, cosine starts above. So I'm counting up 4. There's my above. Now, you have some options to do this. Here's the thing. You can kind of ignore the pi's, right? And you can simply think that this is 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1 whole, 5/4, 5/4, 3 halves, 7/4, and 2 whole. So ultimately, you can also think of it in terms of decimals. 1/4 is 0.25. This is 0.5, 0.75, and a 1. So if we do the, let me figure out where I want to kind of put it. If we do the, to figure out how far our points have to be apart, remember you take the period, which is 2 pi over 3, and you're going to divide it by 4, which ultimately will give you a 2 pi over a 12, or pi over 6. Guys, go to your calculator, as I am doing now, and literally type 1 divided by 6, right? Forget about the pi part. The pi is irrelevant at this point. 1 divided by 6 is basically about 0.17. Okay? So you're going to have to move 0.17. Well, here's the thing. Each one of these is 0.25. And please remember, guys, these are homework problems. These are, classwork problems. You know that I would not make myself suffer to try to grade these on a test. And if I did, I'd give you a much bigger graph than that. Okay, so ultimately, for every point, you're going to go about 0.27, or 0.17, I apologize, right here. Okay, and again, each one from here to here is 0.25. So, cosine starts above, then it is on. Now, 0.17, and if you did 0.17 divided by 0.25, you'd see it's about 2/3 of the way there. So, basically, you're going to go about 2/3 of the way there. Okay? All right? So, if you've gone kind of about 2/3 of the way there, then when you go to do your next one, and you can do this, like, ultimately what you can do, here's the easiest thing. Actually, yeah, here's the easiest thing. I'm going to do this in red. We were supposed to start at 0.25, right? Right? So 0.25 plus 0.17. Yes, I'm typing that into my calculator, so I should be at 0.42. And if you look, 0.42 is just shy of 0.5. okay? Then here's what you do. Keep adding 0.17, right? So add 0.17, and your next point should be at 0.59, okay? All right, so here's the deal. This is 0.5. This is 0.75. So your next point is going to be closer to the pi over 2 than it is to the 3 pi over 4. All right, so pi over 2, and we want to do 0.5, and we do 0.59. And remember, we've got to be 1, 2, 3, 4 down below. So we're going to be roughly here-ish. And again, it's not going to be exact, and you need to not worry about that. You're looking through the process. The process is what you want. All right, so then if we continue, I'm going to continue kind of over here. I'm going to take this 0.59. So 0.59, add another 0.17. Okay, and that should point us at 0.76. Okay, there you go. That's nice. Because ultimately, guys, 0.76 is just past the 0.75. So we are going to be right here-ish. And it's, oh, that should actually be a little bit closer. Sorry. It's tough. I'm working on the iPad right now. Okay, and then ultimately, again, just add another 0.17. So we were at, oopsies, sorry. We were at 0.76. We add another 0.17. That's a terrible point. So plus 0.17. So 0.93. So our last point should be just shy of 1. Okay? Ooh, that's, ooh, where am I at? There we go. I can't see. All right. Not the prettiest picture, and certainly not a complete graph, but you do have your 5 points for your pattern. Above, on, below, on, above. And I will let you stop there when it's one of these crazy ones. Uh-oh, bell rang.